Hey guys, welcome to another speed build. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Today we are over in Newcrest and I am building on the Cookout Lookout lot, which is a 30 by 20 lot in the suburban-ish neighborhood of Newcrest. I know this area of Newcrest, this particular neighborhood, is different when it comes to different people. Some people say this is where the community lots go. Some people say this is where houses go. I am one of those people that love to put houses here just because they're all in a row, but I could totally see why this would be a good place for community lots as well. In my save file, which I have yet to finish, my base game only save file for Newcrest, I actually put houses here. But I am really wanting to redo Newcrest using all the packs as well. Not that I am going to forget about my base game save file, but I just really want to use all of the packs to the fullest extent as well. And if I do end up doing that, then I will probably design this area to have community lots instead of houses. I just kind of like the idea of that. But for today's build, we are building a family house, a suburban house, and I have it right in front of this little picnic area over here in Newcrest. And I love this specific lot because it does have direct access to that picnic area. Technically, all of these lots do, but I love the fact that it's right behind this house. And most of the time, I forget to add a back gate that directly leads to that picnic area, but I'm so happy that I thought about it this time, and I actually did add I would say a back gate, but in fact there is no back gate. I don't have a back gate, which is surprising. I always add privacy fences in my builds, but not this build. We just have an open backyard, and I have a staircase leading from the pool area directly to that picnic area, and it actually turns out really good and really unique. I actually love the way this build turned out, and of course I really hope you guys do as well. If you do, then please do not forget to leave a like and also subscribe if you have not already. Also share this video with your friends and comment down below whatever it is you would like to comment. All of those things really help my channel out. It helps push the algorithm to push my videos out to other simmers. I really appreciate you guys so much, more than you would ever know. With that being said, let's go ahead and get back into today's build. So you might remember just a short minute ago, I said I do not have a back gate or back fence in this build, but I do in fact have a front fence. And this front fence serves absolutely no purpose other than decoration. And you know what? That's fine. I actually really love that. This gate is so cute. I have used this in the last few builds, and I think I created a monster with myself. I cannot bring myself to stop. Ever since I found this fence in debug, I just cannot stop using it. I just love the way it looks. It reminds me of The Sims 2. I say that in every single video, but in fact it really does. And I also just really enjoy the way the fence looks directly up to the sidewalk. There's something about it that I really like. And so, you know, I might get tired of doing this at some point, but today is not that day. On another note, we have a lot of brick on the exterior of this house, and this brick is actually from Get Famous. I have been wanting to use this brick for so long. I actually really love this brick, and I always try to use it, but it never, for some reason, looked that good to me first. I don't know why. Sometimes it just looks off. It's kind of hard for me to match it with certain exterior wall paints or shutters or panels, whatever it is you want to call the exterior wall paint. It's just easier for me to call it paint at the end of the day, but you guys know what I mean. It's for some reason just kind of hard for me to match with other wall colors, but I used this wall paneling, wall shelling. I don't know what you call that, but it's the one from Cats and Dogs, and it's shaped like little shells, and I used the beige color, and I think that pairs really well with that brick from Get Famous. Is it Get Famous or it's City Living? One of the two. This build is actually built using all of the expansion packs and only the expansion packs. So if you have any of the expansion packs or all of them or most of them, you could totally download this house with no problem at all. I did not use any game packs, I did not use any kits, and I did not use any stuff packs. Strictly base game and expansion packs. And it's actually really fun to build that way. I love the expansion packs. Most of the stuff I use on a day-to-day basis when I build just so happens to be from expansion packs anyways. So I just want to take a quick moment to talk about different features that you will find in this build. Of course, I'm using my beloved water slide, but I was also finally able to use one of these diving boards. I was a little bit indecisive on if I wanted to do the shorter one or the taller one, and the taller one did not quite fit. And so I ended up just going with the shorter one, which made sense for a residential house anyways. But when I placed the water slide, it really gave me so many ideas rushing in my mind that I could do with those diving boards, water slides, all of it, to be honest. But specifically the diving boards. I think I said water slide just a moment ago, but I meant diving board. When I placed the diving board, a bunch of ideas just came flowing in my mind. And so I really want to take some time to actually build some stuff revolving the diving boards. I don't really want to give away any hints or ideas. I don't want to give away any spoilers. You guys will just have to stick around and keep an eye out on my channel for any future builds, but they're not residential builds, so I will give you that little bit of a hint. It is actually for community lots, the ideas that I do have. And I mean, I'm sure, you know, people have thought of this already, but this is just coming in my mind now. So it's new for me. New for me, might not be new for everybody else, but new for me. And so I'm really excited to go out of my comfort zone and actually do some community lots builds, focusing on those diving boards. It just sounds so fun to me. And you're probably seeing me build this tree house, and yes, we do in fact have a tree house. And usually when I build custom tree houses, I always tend to make them look like pre-built, like homemade, custom built by the family living in the house. And this time it is, you know, kind of like that, but instead of using wood on the outside and wood columns, wood wall paint, all of that stuff, I actually decided to make it look just like the house. And I was thinking maybe this particular house is in a HOA neighborhood or maybe a deed restricted neighborhood, and they have to have their shed or tree houses or whatever it is in the backyard match the main part of the house. I don't know, I kind of like the idea of that, and I really wanted to do a little bit different of a tree house than I normally do with just the wood and stuff, and I really love the way that it turned out with the brick. On the inside of the tree house, I made it very boyish, if that makes sense. So we have twin boys that live in this house. This house is occupied by a relatively large family, so there's 2 parents, there's 2 teens, 2 children, and there's an infant. So that totals up to about 6 Sims. And so this is a relatively full house. And 2 of those kids, like I was saying, are twin boys. And so the tree house I actually decorated for the twin boys, and I made it very outdoorsy and really tried to make it look like it was obvious that boys decorated and spends a lot of time in that tree house. I put like a scouts board, which I always tend to forget about, but I did not forget in this build. I also added like the caterpillar cage where you grow your own butterfly. I added multiple different skill building items. Of course, we have the tree in there. I have posters everywhere. I added a couple of those imaginary friend dolls, and I mean, you guys will see more later in the build once I decorate the inside of it, but I actually really love the way that it came out. It's, like I said, different than the typical custom treehouse that I do. I always tend to add like a TV and a game system up there, but this time I kept it more on the simple side, more on the realistic side, and just added items you would typically find in a kid's treehouse. And as far as some other features that you will find in this house, out in the front yard where the garage is, I actually added a basketball hoop. And that is something I really love to do in my suburban house builds, especially if I have a lot of kids living there. And most of the time, I usually add cars in the front, and then it makes the basketball hoop not usable. Or I will just choose a car over the basketball hoop. But in this case, I actually decided to move the car inside of the garage. That garage is technically a real garage. I mean, you can't physically use it, but you guys know what I mean. It's supposed to look like a garage. And so out in the front yard, the actual driveway is completely empty. There's no cars. There's plenty of space to put the basketball hoop. And I was really happy to see that in this build, I did not have to place the basketball hoop up any higher than it already naturally is. Usually, the way I do my foundation makes it to where the basketball hoop has to be shifted up a couple of notches, which then makes it, you know, your Sims can use it, but it looks like they miss it every single time, even when they technically don't. And then sometimes it can be too high to where they can't even use it at all. And so I really wanted to make sure that this time around, I didn't have to shift it up at all. And I was really happy to see that I didn't have to finesse it at all. It just naturally hit directly in the right spot. So that was really, really nice. And so your sim should not have a problem at all for using that basketball hoop. And I have it pretty much, it looks like it's like drilled into the side of the house or the roof or whatever. And I actually really like that. It makes it look super realistic. So I was thinking that the teen boy plus the children, they really love to play basketball and challenge each other in basketball. All of these kids in this house, I was really imagining were super, super active and energetic and just a little bit on the wild side, especially the boys. This house, I furnished the infant's room for a boy too, so there's only technically one child that is a girl, and that is what I imagined anyways. Of course, if you download this, you could redo the rooms exactly how you want them to be, but I kind of really liked the idea of having just one girl and then the rest of the kids were boys. It just sounds so chaotic and super fun. I can totally see the older brother, you know, lovingly picking on the two younger brothers, giving them noogies all the time. Is that a thing in The Sims 4? I know for a fact it was a thing in The Sims 2, and I thought it was like the cutest thing ever. And I want to say maybe it is, but yeah, like I said, I can't 100% remember. It's been so long since I've actually deeply played the game. I really want to deeply play the game, but for some reason I'm just so busy. And when I try, I get bored. I don't know what it is about The Sims 4 that kind of bores me gameplay wise. Maybe I just played it too much. Maybe I just don't focus enough on it because I have so much going on in real life. I don't know what it is, but I do want to take some time to actually play it to remember what features are in the game and what features are not in the game. But yeah, moral of the story is I thought it was super cute, such a cute idea to have a house full of boys and then one of them is a girl. And so you can only imagine that girl is like super, super spoiled, I'm sure. She honestly, in my opinion, has the best room in the house. I absolutely love the way that her bedroom came out. I can't wait for you guys to see it. Something else that I added in this house, I actually remembered to add a gate for the infant. So I'm not sure if you guys remember or not, but for the last few builds, I have been talking about wanting to add a gate for the infant, almost like a little play gate, like a little fence where you can put your toddler or your infant in there and they have to stay in there and you don't lose them around the house. They're not like scooting all over the house, you know? And I always tend to make my houses like exactly big enough to fit the furniture that I need. But it was actually a happy accident in this build. I did not mean to make the living room so long and skinny like that, but since it became long and skinny, I was actually able to put the fence there, and I put some toys in there, and whatever it is that the infant needs, because like I said, there is an infant that lives in this house, and so it's like so much easier for the mom and the dad to put the infant in that little like play area, and they know that the infant is not going anywhere. So whatever the infant can play with, I put like a toy box in there, I put some of the blocks, I put a dollhouse. The infant's mats I decided to put outside of the gate, because if you put your infant there, then they pretty much stay there. They can't physically get out of the play mat themselves, which is so not realistic. I kind of wish that the Sims team made it to where the the infant could actually like roll their way off of the mat, just like they would in real life. But you know what? They're stuck, and it's actually really useful in that way just to put them there and you know that they're not going to go anywhere. But since they're not able to actually roll off themselves, I decided to go ahead and put the infant's mats on the outside of the gates, more in the living room, kind of like a little like seat or little blanket thing for the infant to lay on while everybody else is sitting there watching TV and just hanging out. The infant can be part of the family too, and not just locked away on their own in the little fenced off area, which sounds so bad, but you guys know what I mean. So we are getting the kitchen finished up now, and I love the layout of this kitchen. It's super functional and super cute. I, of course, used my all-time favorite cabinet set. I really wanted to use a different cabinet set. You've probably seen in the beginning of the build that I placed the ones from For Rent, but the black countertops were throwing me off. It just wasn't looking good to me. It wasn't my thing. I just couldn't get it to work. And so I ended up replacing it with my all-time favorite ones. And I also want to mention that I actually added, instead of those like half-size upper cabinets that I usually place above my windows, I had a subscriber give me a brilliant idea, and they told me to grab the shelves from Base Game. I'm assuming these are the ones they were talking about. These were the ones that I could find match this swatch the best, and it's not 100% accurate, but it's close enough to where you can't really tell. And they told me to place those above the windows instead. And thank you so much. I absolutely love that idea. I am so sorry. I can't remember what your name is. I'm so sorry. Feel free to comment on this video if that was you. I just thank you so much. That is such a great idea, and I'm going to be totally doing that all the time. And so yeah, thank you so much. If you are someone that sees me do a certain thing and you have a great idea that you think I might like, feel free to comment down below. I absolutely love new ideas. I love constructive criticism. It really helps me learn to become a better builder, and I do not take anything to heart whatsoever. I really love to hear y'all's input, and so it really makes me happy when you guys give me your input. So yeah, definitely feel free to comment down below whatever it is you would like to see me do in a build, and if I like the idea, I'll do it. If I remember, I'll do it, because that's another thing. A lot of the time I forget. And then I also added the dining table in the kitchen. I kind of love that aspect. This area right here where the gate is, it actually looks like this could have been the dining area, but this family repurposed it into a little play area for the infants, and then the kitchen had enough space to put the dining table in there. So I kind of like that idea. If you want the dining table in here, you totally could do that. Once the infant grows up and you get rid of that gate area, put the computer desk there. The computer desk that I have upstairs in the hallway upstairs, you could totally move that down to this area right here and it would be perfect. You also could add another love seat. There's so many different things you could do in place of this little play area. One thing I want to bring up about the living room that is absolutely irking me now that I see it. I actually didn't see it as I was building, and I don't know how, but I seen it when I edited the video. So you probably notice on one side of the living room I have the curtains from Cats and Dogs. On the other side I have some Base Game curtains. Guys, I'm going back in and I'm changing that 100%. I'm going to change it to the Cats and Dogs curtains just because I always use the Base Game ones. I want to change it up a little bit, and those Cats and Dog ones actually matches the couches I use from Seasons like perfectly. And so don't worry, when you download this off the gallery, they will have matching curtains on both sides. Do not stress your pretty little heads about it. I totally see it, and it's bothering me too, so don't worry. So yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. But I am doing the garage now, and like I said, I actually made this into a real garage. I typically do something like a fake garage, and I usually make this into a bedroom, or maybe I make it into like a hobby room, and I actually kept it as a garage. I put a car in here, and I also put some pottery making items. I put the pottery table, I put the pottery like oven thing where you make the glaze and you bake it. And I figured the mom absolutely loves to make pottery. She sells it for some cash, and that allows her to be able to be a stay-at-home mom, but also be able to afford the expensive lifestyle that they have because they have so many children. Kids cost a lot of money, and so the mom, she makes her art and she is able to sell it. And as far as the dad goes, honestly, I didn't even think about a career for him. He probably is in the business career or something. I'll leave that up to you guys, but definitely the mom, she definitely loves to make pottery. I really, really love pottery in The Sims 4 as like a hobby and a skill building item. I just love the fact that they added that. I just never use it because I have to plan ahead. You have to have not only the pottery table to make the piece of pottery that you're trying to make, but also the kiln that you have to bake it in. So you have to have both pieces. So that means you have to have a lot of space. And I typically don't have a lot of space in my houses because I fill it up with furniture, like exactly what I need. Like I was kind of talking about earlier in the living room as far as the playpen goes. But having a garage in the Sims build really makes it easier to be able to place the pottery items. And so I was super happy that I ended up making that garage into a little like garage / hobby room. And I probably would have added a washer and dryer in there as well, like I usually do, but I don't have that package installed, so we do not have laundry in this build. Which I know a lot of people don't mind anyways. A lot of people don't like laundry day. I don't blame you. I'm one of the ones that do like it. I like to torture myself when I play. I don't know why. I guess I don't do laundry enough in real life, so I gotta do it in The Sims too. But we have the master bedroom done, and I am working on the master bathroom now, and I just want to talk about the way that I did the shower in this master bathroom. I absolutely love the way that I did the shower curtain. It looks so cute, and now, you know, usually I do the double shower head and I just add curtains right in front of it, and then your Sim just walks through the curtain. It looks like they just walk straight through the curtain, don't open it or anything. So this time around, I decided to do a little bit something different, and I decided to add 2 curtains, one right in front of the other on both sides. And I added like the one that is tied up in front of the one that is straight down. And the one that's tied up is from businesses and hobbies. The one that's straight down is from base game. And that kind of creates a functional yet decorative shower curtain. So in my mind, in real life, your Sim would probably grab the shower curtain that is straight down and close it when they're actually taking a shower. You cannot do that here in The Sims, but we can pretend. And then the one that's tied up is strictly for decoration, and that's it. And I actually really, really love the way that it turned out. It turned out super pretty. I love the master bathroom. And the master bedroom in general turned out pretty good. I have the big bay window in there, and I added a couple of rocking chairs and a desk in between the rocking chairs. And I also added a keyboard. I figured one of the parents, probably the dad, because the mom likes art, so maybe the dad likes music. And I figured he really loves to spend some time playing his keyboard. I added some guitars in there. Did I? Or did I delete the guitars? Guys, I can't remember. I think I ended up adding an easel instead. Oh yeah, I remember now. I was going to add the guitars, but they didn't look that good, so I ended up adding an easel instead. You could totally like replace the easel with more guitars, or just add a guitar somewhere, and then the dad could learn how to play not only the piano / keyboard, but the guitar as well. And a little bit of a side note, up in the attic, up on the 3rd level, I did actually put a staircase, not a staircase, but a ladder to be able to reach the attic. I kind of like that. It kind of makes it realistic. And I decided to add a super old looking piano up there. Don't ask me how in the heck they got it up there, but they did somehow. And I just love the idea of it being like super, super old and almost like a family heirloom. And maybe the dad goes up there and plays every once in a while, and he really remembers his childhood and his parents teaching him how to play the piano, and he just can't bring himself to get rid of it. And the wife or the mom was like, you know what, but it's super old and it's not going to be in the house. And so he's like, well, you know what, we're going to put it in the attic then. So they somehow got it up in the attic by magic, and it's just up there, and he goes up there and he plays it every once in a while. And then he has his keyboard down in his bedroom too to play as well. And so, yeah, I guess I didn't completely forget about the dad. I don't know what his profession is, but he does love to play guitar and piano especially. But we are over into the first child's room. This is the teen boy that I am doing, and he is very, very sportsy, and he also loves his video games as well. Kind of like a normal teen boy. I kind of do this combination a lot for my teens' rooms. And so, yeah, I am using a rug. I think this specific rug is from Enchanted by Nature, maybe? It has a red dragon, and it kind of tied the whole room together, and I really love the idea of a teen boy having a rug with a red dragon on there. It just makes a lot of sense to me. And so I ended up putting that down, and then there's plenty of posters on the wall. There's a computer in there. He has a game system in there, which I thought your sim could sit on the bed and play the PlayStation, but I don't think they can. I kind of had a problem with one of my sims before, and I forgot as I was building this. So if they can't do it, then you could just delete it, or maybe you could move it downstairs. Maybe you could add a beanbag chair somewhere. But yeah, just that may or may not work. I don't know. I kind of have mixed outcomes on if my sim could actually use that game system or not. So I guess if you guys download this, you'll be able to find out for yourself. And I also added a workout bench in there as well. He's super sporty, he loves to play basketball, and he also really loves to work on his physique. And so I figured why not add a little like workout machine in there. So that is pretty much it for the teen boys room, and we are now working on the twins room. And I almost wanted to use this bunk bed set with the green swatch. I just never use it, so I wanted to kind of torture myself and use it here because honestly I kind of hate it. Like, I don't know, I have a love-hate relationship. It kind of really reminds me of The Sims 2 and like certain swatches The Sims 2 had, and then I also kind of hate it too. This wood color, like the reddish wood color in The Sims, I don't know, I don't love it. It kind of, I don't know, I just don't like it that much. And then the green mixed with that red wood, it looks kind of bad. I don't know, it looks a little bit like someone threw up on my computer screen when I look at it. And so eventually I decided I cannot make that work, and so I'm just gonna get rid of it. And I switched it with this bedroom set from Growing Together. It has the bunk beds with the dinosaurs on there, and I just think this one is so cute, and it has drawings on there, and it just screams a child, a boy child, you know. And then I have the lamp that is from Adventure Awaits, and I could totally see these twins being super outdoorsy. They love to play outside and get dirty and go looking for frogs and butterflies and other insects and just spending a lot of time outside. And so I really wanted to portray that in their room too. I also have a mental table here. Above the mental table, I added a poster that has like different environmental effects, and I kind of love that, especially for an outdoorsy kid. I also added that whiteboard that we got with the recent quest that has different magnets that you can put on there, and I chose my favorite magnets to put on there, mainly the ones that I thought made sense for like kids. And I also added a creativity table, and I kept it really child friendly in their room. I did not put a computer in there. I figured they could share the computer that's like right there in the hallway, not a huge deal. Kids, you know, they probably play games on the computer, but there's not much else that they can really do. I mean, there is, but that's really all that I use it for. And the way that the layout worked out, That room that I put the twins in actually has its own bathroom. And I really love the aspect of the twins having their own bathroom, since, you know, there's 2 of them and there's a total of 4 kids in this house. And so the other 3, well, once the infant gets older, they'll be using this room too, this bathroom. But the older teens, they share this room, which I'm sure the girl loves. I'm sure she loves having to share it with her brother, but that's fine. I figured the teens could share this bathroom, and then the twin boys having their own bathroom just makes a lot of sense to me. And so the bathroom in the twins room, I really tried to make it look like it was for twin boys, or at least boys in general. That bath mat, the bathroom rug that I put in there, it has like some sort of anime figure on there, and I really love that, especially for a boy. And then the mirror, I chose the one that has like some stickers on there. I also chose that same mirror, but a different swatch with different stickers in the teens room. I almost forgot that the teen boy existed, so at first I was decorating it for the teen girl, but then I'm like, wait, there's gonna be a boy in here too, so let me not put too much like girly things. And so I tried to make it neutral, gender neutral, and make it obvious that multiple genders share that bathroom. And speaking of the teen girl, we are actually working on her room now. And like I said earlier, I love the way that this room turned out. I love the platforms. I always use platforms in my builds, and this one is no different. I would have made the teen boys room a little bit more unique and use platforms, but I couldn't do that because of the roof. If you put a platform in a room, for some reason, it kind of bugs out if you have a roof clipping into the house. Typically, if you have a roof clipping into the house, you cannot see it. But if you add a fence or if you add platforms, then it kind of bugs out, and the roof that you typically would not see then becomes visible. And I really, really hate that bug. I despise it because I use platforms all the time, and it makes it to where I cannot use platforms in every single room because I always have a roof clipping somewhere. That's just how it works out in the houses that I build. And I have that bay window right there in where the parents' room is, and so I have a roof on top of the bay window, and that bay window clips into the teen boys room, and so that is the roof that shows if I try to put a platform down, and I really, really hate it, but it is what it is. So the teen girl is the only one that has like platforms in her room, other than the parents, but as far as like the kids go, she's the only one. And you know what? She's the only girl, so it makes sense that she gets the best room anyway. She's spoiled. It is what it is. Honestly, whether we like it or not, that's typically how it is in real life. Whatever gender of child is the only gender. Like if there's like 2 girls and 1 boy, then the boy is typically the most spoiled, and vice versa. I mean, that's just my experience in life. That's what I've noticed. No matter what family it is that I know, that's just how it is. Now, if there's one of each, then it's pretty equal. Or the same amount of boys as there are girls, then it's pretty much equal, and there's no one getting spoiled. Maybe the youngest gets spoiled, maybe there's the oldest gets spoiled. I don't know. Typically, some children get more than others, and it is what it is. It's not right. It doesn't make it right, but that's life. And sometimes, you know, life sucks. Hey, I'm a realist. I know what happens. I don't sugarcoat things. I'm really bad at sugarcoating things. But anyways, I have finished the teen girls room. Like I said, I think it's so cute the way it turned out. I love the pinks, the blues, and the purples together. That combination is just like to die for. It's just beautiful. I love it. Those like are my 3 favorite colors for sure. And we are now working on the infant's room, and I kind of made the infant's room a little bit outdoorsy themed. And I don't know why, it just happened that way. I think it's super cute though. And yeah, I mean, there's really not much to say about the infant's room. I have the crib, and right next to the crib, I actually added a rocking chair, like the comfortable rocking chair from Growing Together. And then we have the changing table. I put some toys in here too. I put a stuffed animal, a toy box, and some blocks. And that's about it. I put some wall decorations. I just tried to make it look pretty cute and different than the typical nursery. I almost made it blue, and I'm like, you know what? I always do blue. I always do blue. I always do pink. Let's change it up a little bit. Let's do an outdoorsy theme. And here is where I decided to put the piano that I was talking about, and I chose the swatch that looks a little bit outdated. It looks a little bit old, and it's from Horse Ranch. So yeah, I think it was a nice touch. It was better than making the attic completely unusable, like to put nothing. But I am realizing now, guys, that I completely forgot to decorate the balcony in the back. I added a balcony. I put a ladder there so that the teens can use it to sneak out of. And yeah, I am so realizing that I totally forgot to decorate it. So I may or may not decorate it before I post it on the gallery. Maybe I'll leave it blank, a blank slate for you guys to put whatever it is you want to put out there. I would put a telescope, but I already put a telescope on the porch on the treehouse, and so I don't want to put too many of those. And so yeah, maybe I'll put some yoga mats. No, we don't have those. I don't have spa day installed, so I don't know. Maybe I'll just put some chairs. Maybe I'll just leave it blank. I will leave that as a surprise for you guys if you download this. Sorry about that. I totally hate forgetting to do things, but sometimes that happens. I did, however, remember to put something on the porch in the back on the bottom though. So I ended up just putting like a chess table there. Maybe I'll put a second chess table on the top, who knows? But I did put one on the bottom, so at least there's that. And I added some lounge chairs around the pool. I also end up adding a little table and chair set that is right off of the back porch. And that little pool area turned out super cute and super functional with the water slide and the diving board. I mean, honestly, there's plenty of stuff to do for the kids in this house. I think it is so awesome, especially since they are super, super active and outdoorsy and full of boys. They need to run their energy off somewhere, and there's plenty of activities to do so here. I also ended up taking some of these blankets from Lovestruck, and I made it into a little picnic area. Whether you can actually have a picnic here or not, who knows? I think you can actually move the picnic basket that I put on the side and put it on the blanket, and they should be able to have a little picnic. I know for a fact that your Sims can woohoo on it though. So maybe the parents, maybe they'll have some fun out here. Who knows? Who knows? Just make sure the kids are not home if that happens. If they are, make sure that they're fast asleep inside. And then what they don't know won't hurt them. You know what? I bet you that's where the little baby infant sibling, I bet you that's where he was conceived. Honestly, I wouldn't doubt it. Sims are crazy. They'll literally woohoo in a dumpster, so why wouldn't they do it in their backyard on a picnic blanket? I wouldn't put it past them. So I am now working on the terrain paint, and I'm doing the typical terrain paint that I do. I'm not very creative when it comes to terrain paint, but I do like to layer up my terrain paint. I usually do the dying grass as the first base layer, and I do a very light coat of that, and then on top of that one I will then go on with the garden soil and place that on top of the dying grass, and then I really like the combination of both of those. And then I placed a little pathway from the front yard leading from the little driveway over to the backyard, and I really like that. And so yeah, oh, and I also added some bikes here in the front for the two twin boys. I really wanted to find a green swatch, but I couldn't, so there's gonna just have to be two blues. I figured one of them really loved blue and then the other one really loved green, and so that's why I made their room blue and green and tried to keep that same theme with the bikes, but you guys see how that went. It didn't go very well. For some reason, they thought it would be a good idea to make every single child's bike literally the same 4 swatches with a little bit of a different design. There's a black, a pink, a blue, and maybe a white. But for sure the first three that I said, and literally every single bike that supports children has those same colors. I don't know why they did that at all. Maybe it was just easier for them, but whatever. The only green bike I could find supported adults only, so yeah. I mean, at least we have bikes for kids now, so let me not complain too much. I don't know how we got bikes for adults before we got bikes for kids, but we did. But yeah, I am thankful that we have bikes for kids. I'm not complaining, I'm thankful. So we have the outside done now, and I am now starting on the inside of the treehouse. Before I talk about the treehouse though, I do want to mention I actually put some floaties in the pool for the kids. You might have to remove those to be able to use the diving board and the water slide. I'm not 100% sure, but I figured that's not a big deal. You can literally just pull it and drag it into your inventory, and then you'll be able to use the diving board and the water slide, so it's fine. But yeah, we are working on the inside of the treehouse, and like I said earlier, I really tried to make it look like it was obvious that this was decorated and a lot of time spent by two twin boys. And so it's gonna have a lot of like boyish things. I put one of these caterpillar things. I put a couple of violins. I did put a little crafting kit here. And so I really like that. I like this lamp from Adventure Awaits too. It really matches the theme perfectly. And of course, an outdoorsy rug. And I mean, really, it's all self-explanatory. But we have actually reached the end of today's build. I really hope you enjoyed today's build. Of course, if you did, please do not forget to leave a like and also subscribe if you have not already. I really appreciate you guys so much, more than you would ever know. I hope you all have an amazing day or night, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys!